Dr. Rajeswari Mahadevan's condolence meeting, starting with her favorite lines from Bhajagovindam by R.D. Shankaracharya. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jadade Sayanam. Iga samsare, Bagudusare, Rupaya Pare, Pahi Murare. And again, one sleeps in the mother's womb. Help me to cross the limitless sea of life, which is uncrossable, my Lord. Dr. Rajeswari Mahadevan, born on the 19th September 1976, traveled on this earthly of 16,016 days, but leaving a legacy for centuries. Fondly called as Raji in the professional circle, she was known to many as the Queen of Contact Lenses, a great clinician, researcher, and professor, and held the numero uno honor for grabbing opportunities. In the family circle, Raji was adored as the perfect daughter, sister, aunt, better half, and mother, with her finest ability to balance work and life. In the closest circle, and I am honored to be one within this small circle, she was the soulmate, guardian angel, and a compassionate and trustworthy friend. We have gathered here today in large numbers and have representations from associations, academic circle, industry, family, and friends to offer our respect and homage to the great and beloved soul of Raji. I have one request to everyone who is here to share your love and respect for Raji. That is, human emotions and connections are the most beautiful and the highly evolved aspect of the universal consciousness. So just go ahead and express your emotions, believing that your true love will reach the departed soul, but just stay within 2 minutes so that everyone gets a chance. Let's begin this condolence meeting by a song recording sent by our senior optom, Nasser sir, and he has sung this song in dedication to our beloved Raji.
வாழ்க்கை பயணம் புரியாத பயணம் யாருக்கும் புரியவில்லை யாருக்கும் தெரியவில்லை.
KK sir, kindly unmute your mic, sir. You're not able to hear you.
Dr. Rajeswari is known to me since 97, 98, I think. Though she joined ESO at 94, because when she came for her internship in 97, 98, that's the first time I saw a small girl doing her internship. She used to be very calm, quiet. In fact, at that time only I was taken up as a HOD of optometry, Mushikar Netralia, new for me to that time. In fact, she was the first one, to best of my knowledge, who did masters with a specialty in contact lens. In fact, I was always proud at that time. I was the HOD, see a junior getting into another specialty. I think that's the time after Saranya, she has taken over, but doing her masters. In fact, the one word which I always equate to Raji, more than her word most of the time, is perseverance. I think that is something which I always seen her throughout. Whether it is an MPhil program, the academic side, whether it is in her personal level, when she wants to balance between the family and the many tasks which she has taken up without any hesitation. And I felt that this one word, she was known for her perseverance, that earned her the epithet for as Dr. Mrs. Perseverance itself. In fact, even during her MPhil, towards the end of the MPhil, she lost her wonderful guide. We all lost Dr. E. Vaidilingam, 2001. It was a very difficult scenario. In fact, but for her determination and perseverance, I don't think anyone else would have even tried to complete it. And I saw her that time, here is the person who can really conquer the world. And she did so in the years to come later. She was a role model for many youngsters, the way she could balance her life. She did many activity towards thing. I remember when early morning she take her daughter to crèche and then she come to the clinic. And I remember 30, those time 30 to 40 cases she do, and she got into teaching at ESO and worked towards expanding the contact lens department. And moreover, she also registered for her PhD. I think that is n number of activity. I don't think, I always felt that probably one or two she will drop out in between. She never did throughout. In fact, she was keep adding of one after the other. And that's the reason why I feel probably we should be very proud to have such person amongst us, worked with us, and inspired many actually. She trained many youngsters with her own way. My interaction with her grew more and more on two ways. One, whenever she attended as a teacher, ESO, trying to build contact lens, teaching amongst our students, and she had all the time some complaining about the student that they are not completing their portions given, not doing the class works, all these things. And when she comes and complains that in my room, I always say, why not we take action? Immediately you jump say, no, KK, they are wonderful people. And I know that she has got her soft corner, though she always used to be very strict. She never allowed me to take any action against student. And in fact, she ensured that students participate in conferences. Even if I say only one or two can attend, she always somehow convince and try to make more people attend. She gave a lot of more exposure to students in a wide area. She encouraged people to participate in quiz competition. And when I said about the IACL examination, she always tried to train them. Even despite her tight schedule, she herself will come forward to do it. Even after, we came to know about this dreaded condition she had, irrespective of it, despite that, actually she ensured that the classes keep happening without any hindrance. Either she will come, or if she makes sure that junior comes, she will give a call and ensure that all these things happening smoothly, to the extent that she asked for a lot of rights of the students also during that time. The other thing which we extensively work together is on EVOC, the International Conference of Real Prestige. In fact, at least 3/4, if not half of this success, I think I owe it to this wonderful person who was with us for a very long time, not very long time, very short time in that sense. In EVOC, I think two main roles she used to take, and both are very tough. And she said, KK, I will take care of the scientific committee work. And she will say one fringe attached to it, don't interfere with any decision making. And I always try to do that, because of reasons many, but she was very strict. And I always appreciated, though not in front of her, but I appreciated we have a strong person who ensured quality as a main aspect in any conference. And probably that is one of the reasons I feel EVOC has really grown to such a high level. But all these EVOC meetings, it's also a lot of fun filled. And I remember one of the occasion, weekly meeting of EVOC, many of us, we went to Raji's place. She was a very good cook. At that time only I know that she was a very good cook. I still remember katrikai curry, I think brinjal curry. Even today, if I remember, it was come onto my thing. It is salivating that time. During this 2020 meeting, also the initial meetings, in fact, I was telling Raji, we should have one meeting at your home where I should have this katrika. If you make katrika, we are having one meeting. But unfortunately, we couldn't, it didn't happen at all. She played multiple roles, and really, many people should read from her life. During her short time of these 44 years in here, she has contributed enormously. Of course, she left her imprint in the form of a strong message to all of us. I realized this two great message. Probably one, great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. The second one, perseverance is stubbornness with a purpose. And she lived as an epitome of that. And really, we all miss her, and definitely we should ensure that one message, if we can take into our life, perseverance of Raji, Dr. Mrs. Perseverance, I think that it's more than enough for us now. Om Santi.
Okay, so I'm going to call Mr. Ahamed sir now to share his message.
Sorry. I was really disturbed when I got this news, and quite disturbed also when I got to see her earlier on a conference call a few months ago along with some of our Asia Pacific team. And I remember still her smiling face. Actually, she was a very, like KK said, I would put it, yes, she was very, very persistent. She was very resourceful. She was very diligent in everything that she did. So much of hard work I've seen her put through, whether it is education, whether it is her own profession, whether working with us as industry, whether participating in conferences, in IICL meetings. I remember her to be a very joyful person, tremendously helpful, and most important part was she used to listen, understand, comprehend, and then give her opinion as well. That was, I think, one of her best qualities that I appreciate about her. And not just as my and Dipti's friend as in optometry, but I'd also take this opportunity to really pass on all the condolences on behalf of all the Johnson & Johnson team members, because I did share this news with not only our India team but also in Asia Pacific as well as in the US, because she had worked with some of our research team members all across. A lot of people who were not knowing about her current state were quite shocked, and they did ask me to pass on these condolence messages. So Raji, wherever you are, may God bless you with all the peace. May your family have all the strength to keep on doing all the good work. And thank you for your time that you could spend with us. And I'm sure you will do even more better with the journey that you are already on. Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, all of you.
Sir, please unmute your.
Abdul Majid, you can unmute. No? Abdul Majid?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes. Good evening, all of you. Thanks for the inviting for the condolence meeting. Really, it is very shocking and unbelievable. Still, I cannot believe. Every time when I sleep and wake up, her thoughts come to me. Really, she's gone. It's very unbelievable. Because our companion went on for 15 years. I was the second person in the contact lens clinic of Shankar Resale main hospital. So the credit of creating an independent contact lens department in a very reputed eye hospital will go to Dr.Rajeswari Mahadevan. I don't think such an independent contact lens department is there in the country. So the credit goes to her. She has created a very independent and also a research wing she has created. The credit again goes to her. A very strong woman in all aspects. Her whatever assignment she has taken, she be very focused and determined in those. So really it is unbelievable. Very strong mentor, whether it is in the clinic or in the college. So many, she's very passionate in traveling, attending all conferences. She has that much passion. So I always think she contact lens warm. So that much she has dedicated her whole time attending conferences and contributing to the contact lens departments subject. So really it is a very great loss, especially for the contact lens department of Shankar Nitsalaya. Really it will take a long time to repair, and I don't know how we can recover this loss. So we pray that her soul may rest in peace, and we pray the Almighty that the Almighty provide her family members, especially her daughter, who is a lonely daughter, and I know very well her because my son also belongs to the same age. So we pray the Almighty to give abundant courage to the family members. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I now request Mrs. Monica Chaudhry, madam, to share her message. Can you unmute your mic, please?
One is trying out this new pizza place. That's it. You want? The garlic bread or a other pizza?
I think words are not enough to describe Rajeswari and her person. I think words are not enough to describe Rajeswari and her personality. For us, she will always be in our hearts, and she will remain to be with us. We will never say we miss her, because whatever she brought in with passion, the education, the upliftment of profession will remain. However, nobody can replace her. This is a big loss to our profession, because at a young age where she had led the country's name to, I don't think anybody else can bring that name to it. We really pray for her family, because it is hard to believe that what they must be going through. A daughter at that age, and for me, of course, I met her in November, and it still seems that she's smiling, charming with me ever. And as everybody else has said, she was a lady of substance and had a great dignity. And she wouldn't just use words which will never hearts.
Thank you, ma'am. Yashwant sir, I request you to share your message.
Okay, rather than a message, I think this is directly for Rajeswari. Hi Raji, wherever you are, hope you are able to listen to all of us. I don't even remember when I met you for the first time, or I don't even know your batch number, and I don't even remember when and where we became good friends. But I guess the friendship is all that matters. You're not with us now, and I'm sure you're at a better place. And though physically you're not with us, you will always be in our thoughts. You will always be alive through the discussions that we've had regarding difficult contact lens cases. And every successful contact lens case which is being fit anywhere in India, I'm sure you will have some contribution to be made there, because you've taught so many practitioners, students, the art of contact lens fitting. An ever smiling face like yours and the enthusiasm like yours, whether it is the EVO conference or any other contact lens education program, definitely each one of us would be missing you a lot. I still remember the long bus ride that we've had in one of the contact lens education programs, where you were lovingly showing me the pictures of your little girl, and that smile was different from the ever smiling Rajeswari. Naturally, because you were showing me pictures of your daughter, and you were telling me how she liked the chocolates that I used to get for her. And I think I would like to remember you with that smiling face. That was a very special smile. I guess the best tribute that all of us can give you is to continue our good work in teaching specialty contact lenses to Indian practitioners, and hope that one day this country will have sufficient number of optometrists fitting specialty lenses. So that's my promise to you, and a smile for you, Rajeswari. Be at peace wherever you are. Om Shanti.
May I now request Mr. Prasad Sawant to share your message.
Yes, please. This is really heartbreaking to talk about Raji in the past tense. Like everyone in optometry fraternity, I too got really shocked to know the sad news. Raji, as we all know, is one of the best clinicians ever in contact lens field. Since we both got our post fellowship from Boston, though I was a senior for her, but I never felt that I'm a senior. We used to interact a lot, and in any of the interactive sessions from Boston or in India level, she was more than a tutor, more a tutor than the learner, and we used to discuss a lot about complicated cases. Couple of trips with her to AO and PCLA actually got us closer and to know each other as a person. And since then, we never stopped. Whether it comes to any conference or any sessions at LVP or even now the Evoke last week interactive. Yes, that was really sad news. And like when I get to know about her, like as a friend, I came to know that she started her bachelor's course at the same time when I got my admission in Mumbai in a diploma, and at two different states, two different cities or two different states, we got different educations and we came together. And when she got to know about my journey, she used to always praise me that even from that level you came to this degree, and she was really happy to see me growing. And I'll never ever forget her words about me. And then what else I should say is really shocking, and we will definitely miss her. I pray a God to give the best of strength to her family members to withstand this hard situation. We will miss her always.
Thank you, Prasad. I now request Mrs. Lakshmi Shinde, madam, to share.
I don't know where to start. Very difficult for me to talk, actually. The first thought that came today when I know that I had to talk here was it's in a way good that this COVID is happening because there's no travel. So there is no conferences happening because, when I travel, I can't think of traveling without her. I've shared rooms with her in AAO, BCLA, and conferences actually got us so close, both of us, and even Prasad will agree. We used to wait to go to these exhibitions, and then she'll very patiently pick up everything what her patients want. She'll say, "See, this person wanted this. This person is suffering from this. I should pick up this. I should pick up that." And both of us, and sometimes even Prasad, we'll go to these exhibitions and pick up. And the thing is, neither me nor her was so fond of shopping. I mean, we shop, but not. We were not avid shoppers when we travel. So, because both of our interests were the same, we used to be clueless where to go. When we had some extra time, both of us will look at each other in Tamil, எங்கயா போறது எங்கயா போறது. She will say, ஐயோ நீங்க தான் இவ்வளோ டிராவல் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களே, உங்களுக்கு தான் தெரியும் நான் நினைச்சேன். She will say, and I will say, ஐயோ ராஜி என்ன போய் கேட்கறியே அப்படின்னு. And these things I was just thinking, I said in a way it is good that all the travel is banned, because I can't think of going and not having her around. Especially during all the contact lens session, we'll sit next to each other. Either talk, if especially like off late, what happened was, I should not criticize, but some of the academy sessions, they were pretty much what to say, the level was nowhere close to what work we do in India. Some of them, I'm not saying all, but some of them. And then both of us will look at each other. We'll say, "Ennaya arachamaviye arichi idiye present pandrale," we'll say. And then the things, it was so, what to say, the feelings were so similar. I don't know. I'll miss that part of it. That is as far as the profession is concerned. Now, off the profession, I had a very different connection in terms of a daughter's dance. I've learned Bharatanatyam, and I restarted recently again with my classes. And whatever happens, I would tell the family I would look forward to a daughter's arangetam. That is something I've exchanged things with Raji and spoken about it and things like that. So yeah, that's it. Wherever you are, be happy, and I'll miss you Raji.
So we'll move on to the industry representatives. I just call upon Alcon representative, Mr. Rajesh. Are you around?
Raji, Kemraj and Rupam are there. Rajesh, I did not see.
Okay, then we'll move on to Mr. Kemraj. Can you please go ahead?
So many people have spoken about ma'am, and the kind of chemistry she has shared with her colleagues at SN, fellow optons. This is coming out very clearly here. Lakshmi ma'am was mentioning that good, the travel is banned. I feel so that good that travel is banned, otherwise Chennai would have flooded, because we really wanted to come and see her. Within my controlled emotions, I would say that when I was a student, she was inspiration for many. I was one of them at my students' days. When I got into industry, I got a chance to work her very closely. In fact, not only with Boshalam, she was a key opinion leader to many other industries. There will be any product in contact lens industry which is launched in this country without taking her opinion, her expert view. And she was so humble. You, in fact, can ask, ma'am, how should I approach fellow, key opinion leaders on this particular product? What is your suggestion? And she will very nicely guide you. I being, so young in this profession, she has many a times given that piece of advice, and which has worked. She was so humble, despite having so many credentials. You type just her name, and then you see so many research papers on contact lenses. Her knowledge, and I'm sure the number of patients has touched, their life by making their life better, by making them see this entire world. All of them are going to miss you, ma'am. Yes, you have established, you have thought, send that message to us that we should live life to the maximum, like within that small, number of years. The 44 is nothing. But then you have done so many things, and it's a message back to us that we should also contribute as much as we can for the profession, for patients, what best at our own. Again, I would say, may God be with Mr. Ganesh and family, give them enough strength so that they can cope up with this particular situation, which is an irreparable loss to them. Thank you. Om Shanti.
P&L, Mr. Venkatesan sir, can you share a few words?
I know Raji for almost 15, 16 years. I'm not an optometrist. I'm basically a salesman. So convenience which I shared with her, I think it is a tremendous. It given a lot of convenience in the knowledge level to all of us. So I'll start with one more quote that death is not the end of life as long as she lives in our heart. Because maybe a couple of weeks now, I think I'm living there almost every day. I'm praying for her. What else you want in life? I think there's a great impact she made on me. That is what I wanted to say. On behalf of Boshanov, let me pass our deepest condolence to Dr. Rajeswari's family. She's a good friend, better than a friend, great teacher, and in fact a role model to a lot of people. I pray that many happy memories of Dr. Rajeswari's life with all of us should cherish and give her a peace and let her feel the heavenly God's grace. I have one more wish. Let her memories come often to us so that we can pray for her very often. This is the biggest tribute people will get. I think she won among them. And she left a lot of note within me, convenience, technical, commercial, all the stuff. I salute as a human being. I don't miss her as an optometrist. I miss her as a human being. That's the greatest achievement in life, I think. Being a good human is the biggest task. I think she felt and she lived and she will be on us for every moment, I believe. And my deepest condolence to Dr. Rajeswari's family. Om Shanti.
Mrs. Jayashree Boshanlam.
Yeah. It's a very difficult moment to say about this, and Rajamamna was a great mentor and such a down-to-earth person. So, being such a knowledgeable person, she never shows that she knows everything. So, if we have even a small doubts, also she used to clarify. So, being from my industry, I got the opportunity to meet, touch base with Rajamam frequently for many clinical trials and for her support. And she was an awesome teacher. And I skill lenses fitting from Raji ma'am. So it was like I felt it was a great blessings for me. So first patient when I fitted, I couldn't able to do it. Second patient vision was 6'9". The patient previous vision was only of 660. So it was no improvement. So with the first period fitting itself, I got almost 6'9". So all the credits, whatever I know about the skill lenses today, it's all because of Raji ma'am. And she was an awesome teacher, and I got an opportunity to attend many conferences with Raji ma'am because we used to travel from Chennai. We used to attend meet in the flight, or we used to go for some dinner and all. All these memorable times and it's all these sweet memories in me, which should be for my entire life. So my sincere prayers and condolence for Raji ma'am family and Ganesh and his daughter especially. So thank you. Om Shanti.
Supervision representatives, Mr. Rupam.
For me, she was very inspirational, and what I loved about her is she was so approachable. And if I have to, say anything about Raji ma'am, I will probably say it in 2 sentences that she knew not only contact lenses, but probably she knew how to talk with people, how to keep people happy, how to see her patients. She knew how to have a professional life. She knew how to have a personal life. And the second thing that I wanted to tell about her is that she wanted the best for herself and for everyone around her. And this I have seen with very close proximity when I approached her for a competition called as sports that we normally do. And she wanted the best out of her students. And there are very few mentors whom we can say this about. And most of the time, probably, we used to discuss about contact lenses, but we really used to discuss about running. And, she would tell me her 5 kilometers run and how Ganesh sir would probably run 42 kilometers and 41 kilometers. So I am going to miss that for sure. And normally after conferences, I would, get down from the stage and ask her, ma'am, how was the presentation? And she would give her an honest feedback. So I'll obviously miss all of those things. And I will definitely miss, the running talks that we used to do among ourselves. And I think wherever she is, she will be very happy, and she might be fitting contact lenses there as well, or she might be teaching about contact lenses over there. And I just have to pass one message that our vice president from the global supervision team, Mr. Gary Osborne, has passed on. So he has passed on his condolences as well, because he knew Raji ma'am very well as well, and condolences from the entire supervision team in India. And I pray to Almighty to give strength and courage to our family members. And obviously, it's a irreparable loss for the optometry fraternity altogether. Thank you, and Om Shanti.
Mr. Shri Uday Kumar.
Yes. Raji ma'am, I know Raji ma'am more only as a teacher. So I am very proud that I am one of the students that belong to her batches. And whenever we had the class of Raji ma'am, we used to be very enthusiastic, because so usually the practicals will be after entire theoretical is over or something like that. But during contact lens teachings and her classes, there will be a lot of correlation with whatever theory is happening. So she made sure that all the students know about the fittings of all types of lenses, RGP, rose-K lenses. Even when there is Boston scleral lens fitting of only one patient, when she finished her Boston scleral fellowship, immediately we were the first batch to be there. So she made sure there was only one patient at that time for the entire month. So she made sure whoever were in that branch, she ensured that we were able to look at the patient. We were able to have a look at the lenses. So she is the best teacher I know, and she would be always smiling. We have never seen her strict, and I really admire her for the love she had for teaching. So I'll really miss her. I'll really miss her, and it's really very difficult to be like her. I'll keep inspiring. She is a very big inspiration. So my admiration for her will never stop. My deep condolences to her family, her daughter, and everyone. So Om Shanti.
From J&J, Mr. Srijit sir. Srijit sir, right there. Mr. Srijit or Mr. Madhusudanan, anyone?
Madam, both have not come, I think.
Okay. So I think the industry representation is sort of done. We're moving on to the academic representations. Can I have Dr. Anuradha, Principal Elite School?
She got disconnected. She's here, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard many of you share professional relationships with Raji. I belong to 1994 batch. We were batchmates actually at ESO. And I have got very good moments with Raji. Singing and dancing, what all we did together. He was a fighter from the beginning. Actually, when we were studying at college, none of us even knew what a conference was. But he was the first one to go to an international conference with our then principal, Dr. Vaidilingam. And she used to come back and tell us stories about the conference, and that's how she inspired us to become part of such conferences. And Raji is like, she knew what she wanted from the beginning, and she used to make sure that she gets what she wants. She's a spirited personality, and as Kiki was telling, she lost her guides both during the masters and during the doctorate, but she knew that she had to finish it, and she was very sure that she would complete it, and maybe as the head of contact lens department. And she used to be the one who always mends an issue with any friends. We have had like a lot of fights when we were batchmates, even later. But she would always be the one who mends such issues. And she used to write letters personally and to mend such problems with any of us. And she used to express her views through those personal letters. At ESO, she used to be the point of contact for many of us. We used to call her fondly as Miss Stationery. Whenever we are in need of some urgent project works, and we used to go take everything from her bag. And still in many of my mails, it gets CC to Raji, and I'm missing her terribly still. And also, I would take this time to welcome you all to Dr. Rajeswari Mahadevan Memorial Oration on the 9th of September from this year onwards, which is going to be held year after year. And I'm going to miss you, Raji, at Iyad's, gossips, and food that we shared. Home Satvit. Thank you.
Good, Mr. Venkatesan, sir.
This one, audio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I belong to the 96 batch. I was a couple of years junior to Raji Madam. I remember a lot of things. She was a mentor. She was a project guide. I remember traveling for a conference with her. That was my first conference. We went to Gurgaon, Delhi. We had Indian Contact Lens Society conference. More than anything, I have very fond memories of Raji Madam's visits to Shankaranitla, Calcutta. She played a very instrumental role in taking forward the annual optometry symposium that happened here, and she had been a great inspiration to many of the optometrists here, including me as well. More than an memory or an eulogy speech, I took the liberty to write a small poem on her in Tamil. There was another side to Raji Madam, which probably many of the people may not know. She had a great flair and fondness for Tamil literature. She had a great flair for Tamil literature. So I just took the liberty to write a small poetry in her memory in Tamil and to say the English version of it, which I wrote it for the benefit of those who don't follow Tamil. So I'm just quoting the poetry. நிழல் போல் இருந்த நீங்கள் நினைவாய் இன்று மாறிவிட்டீர்கள். கண்ணிமைக்கும் நேரத்தில் கண்ணீர் துளியாகிவிட்டீர்கள். இதயங்கள் எல்லாம் நொறுங்க, இமைகள் எல்லாம் நனைய, எங்களை தவிக்க விட்டு எங்கோ பயணமாகிவிட்டீர்கள். நீங்கள் எங்களை விட்டு தூரத்தில் இல்லை, நினைவுகளில் இருக்கின்றீர்கள். எங்கும் போகவில்லை நீங்கள், எங்கும் போகவில்லை நீங்கள், எங்கள் இதயங்களில் வாழ்கின்றீர்கள். என்றாவது ஒரு நாள் எங்கோ ஒரு இடத்தில் நாம் சந்தித்துக் கொள்வோம். நிச்சயம் நாம் சந்தித்துக் கொள்வோம். ஏனெனில் நமது நட்புக்கு என்றும் மரணமில்லை. நமது துறைக்கு நீங்கள் ஆற்றிய பணி இனிவரும் நாட்களில் ஒரு சரித்திரமாக இருந்து நமது துறையை சார்ந்த பலருக்கு ஒரு வழிகாட்டியாக இருக்கும் என்பதில் எல்லளவும் ஐயமில்லை எனக்கு. எனது இந்த தாழ்மையான கருத்தினை இங்கே பதிவு செய்வதில் மிகவும் பெருமிதம் கொள்கிறேன். வாழ்க உங்கள் புகழ ராஜி, வளர்க உங்கள் பணி. Just for the benefit of those who cannot follow Tamil, I'll just say the English version of it. You were a shadow of support to us a while back. Today you have become a lasting memory in our thoughts. In a wink of an eye, you have transformed to a drop of a tear. With broken hearts, with our eyes soaked in tears, while we grieve, You have set out on your final journey. But you never left us. You never left us, as you are etched in our memories forever. Deep down our hearts and soul, and innumerable lives of the patients and the students that you touched in this glorious life. Someday, somewhere, we are destined to meet. Someday, somewhere, we are destined to meet. As our friendship is eternal, mutual respect and admiration is forever and immortal. Your contributions to our profession are a standing testimony of your legacy. And believe me, you have left innumerable treasures for the profession to cherish in the form of your students. I'm so blessed to have known you, Raji, and your memories together are the proud stories that I'm going to reminisce forever. Long live your legacy, and let your glorious life be an object of emulation and adulation for future generations. In loving memory of a cherished colleague and a wonderful human being, Raji. I just pray the Almighty to give strength to her family members, to her daughter, to everyone. Om Shanti.
Dr. Ramesh B. Manipal.
Hello, Dr. Raji. I've been one of her very fortunate juniors, being from LH school days, where in all the mischief, she used to be the support, as Dr. KK was saying. Like our batch, whatever I did, mistakes, she would be there behind and guiding folks. And during my time at Shankar Netralia, she was a real women leadership. She showed as a strong leader how he built up every research project at the Department of Contact Lenses. And I am very proud that all of you are sharing. As a women scientist, she is one of the very eminent clinical researcher and a scientist that we have, and her publications and her research work is a testimonial that she is always going to be with us alive. In every time we cite her paper, her quality research work, and every student of hers who's going to take that legacy ahead. So Raji ma'am, how she, whenever I used to have any clarifications on early phases of grant writing when I moved away from Netralia or Manipal, I used to connect with her because her experience as an independent person to write for external grants and to industry connects was very. I always looked at her as a role model, and when I approached her to support our contact lens and be a guide at a registered guide at Manipal, the enthusiasm she showed was so good that we are fortunate to have her as a guide, and some of the research ideas that her student Srinu and who is now a faculty with us is taking forward is going to be a promise that from the family of Manipal we'll ensure that the quality of research that we do will be a dedication to the learnings that we had from you, Dr. Rajesh. And a note that we're not going to miss her at all, because I remember during my MPhil days, wherein from the glaucoma project, when the new the advanced contact lens, specialty contact lens was created, and whenever we used to move to the new contact lens facility at Shankar, we have a daughter. Many students used to ask her the doubts when Raji ma'am is not there. So she has created a mini Raji in her daughter, who is also a contact lens expertise. Every time, she used to be in the clinic more than what I have attended during my internship. Her daughter has been a great source of support to many of the students there, if I'm not wrong. And I really pray, and on behalf of all my friends from my batch, I have Ms. Preetha here, Preetha Ramprasat here, along with all our batchmates here from the batch of BO13 and the family of Mahe. Our prayers are there, and we are there. We will cherish your life with the fullest memory by doing good research, good clinical training, and keep your legacy to the best of our abilities. may your soul rest in peace, and the courage to the family. And thank you.
Mrs. Preetha Ramprasat as the OATN and IICL representative.
Thank you. I never imagined I would be giving an eulogy to a person who I really admired the most, who I always looked up love and respect. I'm actually a very emotional person. I'm trying to control myself, and I've actually written this out so that I don't want to miss anything about my experiences with Raji. My life, Raji has crossed several stages. As a very friendly senior, I'm actually 3 years junior to Raji. I'm from the 1997 batch. She was a very patient and amazing teacher. And during my Washington times, she was a very good key opinion leader, and she used to actually clarify so many doubts of mine. She was a motivator and was also a role model. Indeed, I consider her my Manasika Guru. That's the term I would really say. If you think about contact lenses, the only name that would ever come to an Indian's mind, or my mind, rather, be Dr. Rajeswari. She reigned this field with her knowledge and expertise in spherical contact lensing, be it for keratoconus or for those for ocular surface disease treatment. She had so many firsts to her credit, being FPCLA or FAO in contact lenses, so many firsts. She was an achiever, she was a true leader, and being a leader, she wanted everyone around her also to achieve. She motivated everybody, and she appreciated people for their work and achievements too. Personally, what I felt was, even professionally for that matter, she was a very organized person. She was so graceful. I used to look at her sarees and her matching jewels and the salwars we used to wear. She was so graceful at everything, and she was very good at time management, and the way she managed her time with family and work and research was amazing. And also the time she spent in conferences, both inside and outside India. As Lakshmi ma'am said, conferences were the times which we interacted so much. At any time I'm going out for a conference, she is going to be there in my mind. I'm going to miss her a lot. Actually, Raji and I, after college times, we met in a conference. So I was back then in USA doing my master's at University of Houston. She had come down to RO conference in 2006. She was our roommate. Nalini, myself, and Raji were roommates. And she was so thoughtful of everybody. She was bringing goodies, keychains made of wood, elephant and camel. In fact, so we had so much time and a lot of chit chat. And the time she used to even got calls from her family. Ashu, Ara, then she used to break down. Hey Raji, how are you managing all this now? She will only smile. That was the only reaction. So I still trying to follow, like whenever I go for a conference, I actually miss that part seriously. Kids miss பண்ணி நான் போறேன்னா அது வந்து I think of Raji only. When Raji could do it, I should do that also. Even I follow that. And the conference when she had come, right, I was a binocular vision person. எனக்கு வந்து ஆர்வல present பண்றது was the first time. So she actually stood with me during that poster presentation and made sure, when a group of people are there, she was also with me. Okay, then she started going around to seeing other posters. She was such an encouragement. Questions she also asked for my posters. It was a very good experience then. And after I came back to India, actually I joined Washington on professional services. So that was a time I got to interact with her a lot more, contact lens field. And the shift from binocular vision to contact lens actually came from because of her interactions. She was such an inspiration. And நிறைய specialty lenses, diagnostic fittings I learned from her. That really helped me when I worked in Tungusan Hospital as a specialty lens fitter, Malaysia. I was a lecturer there. So I used to also work in the clinic there. Really helped, and Allah, she used to clarify everything for me. India, a lot of conferences I told you we met. So the last conference was the one in Bangalore, February 2020. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி மும்பைல கூட we had. That's when I knew that she was looking very sick and ரொம்ப lean இருந்தாங்க. But still she had that courage and smile. Everything was there. And again, ICL meetings and Bangalore meeting லாம் கூட she was very enthusiastic that time. Half an hour she spoke about scleral contact lenses. And the மாதிரி ஒரு presentation nobody can ever do. Half an hour, top to bottom, everything, including contraindications, complications, everything was so well covered by her. And the presentation, I will not miss any photo of Raji to see. Now that I even shared it with IIL. So I'm going to really miss her. The field, automotive field, the contact lens field is going to miss a legend. எல்லாரும் queen சொல்லுவாங்க, queen and also a legend வந்து ராஜி தான். I take this time to share my condolences to her family, especially Ashwini. Raji and I actually had a connect with that part also. She used to ask me எல்லா கான்ஃபரன்ஸும் பார்த்தா எப்படி இருக்கா பிரீதா, உன் பொண்ணு எப்படி இருக்கா, எப்படி பண்றா, ஏன்னா my daughter also learns Bharatanatyam. So photo statusலாம் அடிக்கடி she used to see and give me encouraging notes. So அதெல்லாம் வந்து I'm going to miss. Every year September 9 I'll be one of the persons to wish her. அதுவும் நான் மிஸ் பண்ண போறேன். So many things I'm going to miss. So deepest condolences to your family. Her pains are gone, but her memories will live forever with us. Condolences to the entire optometry fraternity also, from my family and Vasan family as such. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Mr. Vivek sir from OATN.
My pranams and namaskaram to everyone here. I'm dedicating my humble bowings and respect to Raji ma'am. There are so many things to tell about her. But before that, I just show some pictures because from since morning, what way we can just express the love on her, respect to her, So I just take a from my album. So I'm just showing to my face, just see, is it viewable? Can you all see us smiling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is the thing, this is the first picture. This is the second picture. This is the third picture. She's so amazing and awesome in her knowledge, and she's so much special for me to develop my contact lens practice. That's undeniable, and she's a big and strong pillar in contact lenses of our optometric community, and really such a busy schedule. Whatever the doubts I ask, I SMS. I don't call. Normally I don't. My big point is I never call anybody because I don't want to disturb them. Anybody calling, and I always text her, madam, this is the problem. What way I can just handle the patients? So at least in 10 minutes she'll give the answer back. She's in many ways touched my life, and I am good. I'm very confident for my contact lens practice. That's because of her. In my still life, there's no word forgotten to her, Raji ma'am. And I've been to many CMEs, countless CMEs and conferences with her, and she's a magnet. She attracts everybody, and it's a great affinity. I have a great affinity with her. And when we traveled 2006 to Australia, Cooper Vision arranged the program, and she sang a song for us with Nazir sir. It was really amazing. It's unforgettable. And what way I can say, she used to give lots and lots of contact lens tips, regimen, contact lens care regimen. And what way I can express, now she's not there, but she always be in our heart. Maybe I'm stopping my tears in my eyes, but tearful in my heart. And the heart is so small, but we can give so much place to her. and so much thing. And she's the first person when we just go and meet her, I and Siraj sir. And when we asked her, madam, we have to do some CME for contact lenses. She said, no sir, every time don't do presentation. Do some role play with the student. That'll be very good. It'll reach to the public, it reach to the students. And then she's the one, started role play and hands-on. And she's one is the big motivation to me to start my clearer contact lens. That's what Boston and Jayashree madam also told. And really, what we can say, when we give a patient from 660 to 669, 655 vision, that's a great, and that is because of her. And whenever, as long as my breath is there, I'm into practice. I cannot forget. There's no word to forget in my life for her. I always call. I used to run behind her in all the conferences. I used to call Dr. Rajiv. Instead, madam, I used to call Rajima, that's all. She always turn and say, yes, sir. So it is really, every moment of her, smile, her talk, and she's so polite. She's humble. She's the meaning of humble. Actually, see, when I saw the background of this photo, actually today morning, I was just thinking to bring my big mirror and back my, background of my face, my body. But I couldn't do that. And I was so interested and so anxious to attend her final rites. I couldn't. I pray Sriman Narayana to give her a best and comfortable place in his Vaikuntham. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for the opportunity given. Thanks, Rizwana madam. Thanks for the OATN. Thanks for everyone who is seniors, leaders here. Thank you so much. And my bowings to her.
Mrs. Purnimaran, would you like to say a couple of words?
It is a very emotional moment for me because she had really supported me during the opt-in. I was pretty junior to her and I was actually scared to call her and ask for permissions during opt-in, but she was so casual and I just felt like a mother in her. I will miss mother. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry I'm not able to speak further.
We are moving on with the announcements for OATN oration. So over to Mr. Kumaran sir. Kumaran sir, can you share the message and the oration message? Yeah.
My deepest condolence to the family of Dr. Raji. We heard a lot about Raji, and I have no words to express about Raji. And I know her since 2007. I've been interacted personally on behalf of my children as well as on behalf of Optometry Association of Tamil Nadu. And she was a great support and inspiration to us. And I pray that her soul rest in peace, and deepest condolence to the family. And now let me just give a small announcement and take few seconds to say about few words about late Mr. Sirajuddin, a senior optometrist and executive member of Optometry Association of Tamil Nadu, vice president. He was the vice president of Indian Optometry Federation, and his contribution towards the optometry cannot be forgotten. So the OATN has decided to conduct a memorial oration on his name, Mr. Sirajuddin oration, every year, which may fall in the month of November. His death anniversary or a memorial day is on the 17th of November. So we will have an oration in the name of Mr. Sirajuddin, and his son is here. And after me, probably he will just say a few words. With that, I thank everyone for this opportunity and pray God Almighty should bless the family of Dr. Raji. Thank you.
Siraj sir's son, Mr. Ahamed, you.
Very good evening to all the present here, all of the present.
I'm very sorry. I'm not very good in English, but very first deep condolence to Rajeswari madam, because I have no experience with her. I have met only 2 times, but she responded me different. Didn't consider my age. She responded me well, and she gave me many advice at first visit itself. So I'm very kind of her. Second, myself, Ahamed S, son of Sirajuddin. I miss my dad very much. Yes, he is my hero, role model, and everything. Normally, my dad nature is fast. He is fast. Everything is fast. He work fast. He will walk fast. Even when he go to sleep, when he go to sleep, he will sleep at the moment itself. He is very fast in everything. Now he left me very fast. So hope your prayers make me rest him in peace. I wish all of you to pray. My dad's last word was, when doctor said that give hope on God. We can't do anything. They said, my dad's last words was, if I did, don't waste time. Do all the procedure fast and look after my clinic, because that is my life. This life. Thank you. I have no words to speak. Special thanks to Vivek sir. He supported me equal to my father. I have to thank lifelong to Vivek sir, because now he is my father. I am considering him as my father. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't put the video because I feel emotional. It will be bad for everyone. I am Ahmed. My brother is also here. His name is Mohammed Saeed. That Lenovo case over. Thank you. Sorry if I speak anything wrong.
No. We understand your emotions. No worries. Take care. I now request our senior Optam Singaraveli sir. Can you please?
Om Namah Shivaya. Billions and billions of souls have come and gone. Very few put their footprint in our hearts. Ever smiling marathon, Dr. Rajeswari madam is one among them. Raji, konja vaye. First time I heard the sound, somebody turned and saw with a smiling face. That was the first incident in 2008 or something in LH School of Optometry. From that time onwards, whenever we happen to see her, the smiling face, whenever we ask anything, any question, immediately I is a ready reckoner, she used to answer. Really, it is very irreparable loss, not only to their family, to the field of optometry, that everybody knows very well. Mannum Tanalara, Minnum Pugayara, Kalan Kalara, Kayan Kayara, Ennermai Taimar, Ilapare, and Kudia or Padale. Adi Shankarar, Madam Sonal Bottle Model, Punarabi Jananam, Punarabi Maranam, Punarabi Janani, Jadare, Saganam, Igasam Sare, Bagadu Stare, Krubaya Pare, Raji, Bahi Murari. நம்மையாருக்கு எல்லா அருளும் இறைவன் தர வேண்டும் என்று வேண்டிக் கொண்டு ஆழ்ந்த இரங்கல்களை அவர் குடும்பத்தார் நண்பர்களுக்கும் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். மீண்டும் ஒரு வாய்ப்பு தந்திருக்கின்றீர்கள். அவர் elder brother, personally very close to me, late Mr. Rajni Turakia, is one introduced the word optometry to me on that days. Previously we were called by some other name. He is the founder of Indian Optometric Association along with Ved Sabarwal. In early 60s itself, he used to maintain the quality and scientific dispensing in 60s itself. Rajni Turakia Memorial Oration on dispensing of peace will be held every year by OATN to show our gratitude. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Sneha Turakia, sir, request you to share a few words.
Thank you, Rizwana. I would just like to pay my respect to Dr. Rajiv first. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
So, how often do we come across a person who is to us a perfect example of being born with a heart of gold? A person who has in a short time made tremendous lasting impression and impact on innumerable contributions during her journey of life. This is what exactly Dr. Raji has done, be it with the fraternity, friends, students, patients, and many more. Such people, though they leave us, are truly eternal, leaving their footprints behind, and more than anything else, they seal their place in our hearts forever. So I offer my heartfelt condolences to family, friends, colleagues, and bestow eternal peace to our ever-smiling Dr. Raji. Om Shanti. I also want to thank OATN for the gratitude shown for my father and the kind words Singarwal sir has told. Optometry was extremely close to my dad's. Colleagues here know that he was extremely passionate about optometry, and it always brought a twinkle to his eyes whenever he spoke on anything related to optometry. He can go on for hours and hours together. He had spent decades with like-minded colleagues trying to motivate the fraternity, trying to popularize optometry in India, and also mentoring several optometrists in his illustrious career. He would always wholeheartedly encourage anyone who wanted to start their own practice. He would motivate them, even if they were working with us for many years. He wouldn't stop at it. He would still motivate that you should start your own practice. You should be your own boss. And by not only guiding them completely, but also making sure that he's available for them anytime for any kind of help. So I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks to OATN for the love, respect, and affection tendered to him. I'm also truly grateful for this kind gesture and initiative in his memory. Thanks. Thank you, Gunnar.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Pongal, Madam President OATN, to share a few words and the oration message.
Good evening, all. Dear friends, words may not wipe away the tears, hugs may not ease the pain, but let's hold on to our memories, because only those will forever remain. With great grief that I attend this meeting, but let's hereby console each other and condole Dr. Raji's near and dear ones, because shared sorrow is half sorrow. Dr. Raji, as everybody mentioned, the moment I mention her name, அது ஒண்ணுதான் எனக்கு ஞாபகம் வருது. Her ever smiling face, and she's such a down to earth person, a fitness queen. I'm sure she will live with us forever and ever. On behalf of OATN, I'm announcing that year on year, every year, OATN is going to conduct a scientific session in the memory of Dr. Raji, and through this, she will forever live with us. Thank you.
Balaji, sir. On behalf of OATN, listen and perspire.
And before I start, is there anybody who is there in the Zoom platform want to talk? I think Saranya is here, who has joined from Erode. She want to say something. With your permission, can we allow her? Maybe she need to be really brief.
Just a few words. I'm going to tremendously miss her, just like everybody else. Long friendship, long road that we started off. She started off as my student, was my trainee. I handed the contact lens department to her, and then she became my teacher. So this kind of a wonderful relationship, and any time you call, she would answer. Any time you asked her a question, she would answer. I can still hear her. This too will pass. I can still hear her saying. So thank you for remembering her so beautifully.
I think we need to remember her with her smile. So I'm not going to cry. I'm going to give a big smile and say thank you, Raji, for being such a wonderful part of all our lives. And a big hug to her family and to all her friends. I know everybody is missing her, in fact, more than what I am actually missing her, probably. But, you know, if there's anything, just remember, she always had a hug, she always had a smile, and she always had a good one for all of us. So remember her as she was. Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti.
Okay. Before I start, I would like to share a video who has been shared by Lakshmi. This video came all the way from Australia, the IACL International. The IACL president shared condolence message.
It's from UK, Jyoti Balaji.
Oh, I'm
from
sorry.
UK.
I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Shazad Naru. I'm the IACL president, that's the International Association of Contact Lens Educators. And I wanted to make this message to offer my deepest regrets for the very, very sad and untimely passing of Raji. I was completely shocked when I heard that news, and completely out of the blue. Raji was she was in many of our hearts. I know she was a fantastic teacher, educator, researcher, practitioner, friend, and to many, many people in the profession. And personally, I will miss her fantastic smile. She had the biggest smile on her face whenever you met her, and she was always pleased to see everybody. And she leaves a hole in our hearts, and I'm sad that she's gone, and I wish her family all the best at this sad time.
Thanks, Lakshmi, for the video which has been arranged so quick.
No problem, Jyoti. I just want to add that the entire IACL executive, all of them sent their condolence. And I think she was one of the best Asia Pacific, head that we had in IACL. Always present in all the conference calls that we had, chipped in wherever she can. So, yeah, we'll miss her. We'll miss her in those meetings.
Okay. And this is the biggest problem when somebody speaks at the last, and I never have any past experience of giving a condolence message. And the worst part is giving a condolence message to a junior to you. I never had an experience like how a weight of a coffin, and people always say the smallest coffin is always the heaviest. I could feel that. When Mr. Kumaran called me early in the morning on 16th, and he just, in fact, I was sleeping, and he called me and he asked, is the news is correct? I am completely taken away the way he asked, and the news what he shared. I don't have, I'm clueless whom to confirm. The person who always comes to my mind is Vishwanathan. When I tried, his line was engaged. Then I understood, okay, it's going to be a sad news. The next person who I could reach out is Anuradha, and she was literally in tears. My deepest condolence to Anu and all your classmates, all your batchmates. The second condolence message whom I need to give is to Mr. Ganesh. And I know Raji for nearly 20 years. My association with her from nearly 1999 onwards. I have attended her wedding. I have attended her graduations, undergraduation, post-graduation, even doctorate. And she's a wonderful person, no doubt. But the only, probably the saddest part was this last 5 years we have been in the different venue. My interaction with her was very, very minimal. That doesn't matter in terms of whenever I need any help in relation to professionally or anything. And I'm sure at Netralaya, people going to remember before Raji and after Raji when it comes contact lens. Same thing it is going to be in relation to OATN. People always remember before Raji and after Raji whenever we are going to talk about contact lens or contact lens related. My deepest condolence once again to Mr. Ganesh and his entire family, especially to our daughter. And normally in condolence meetings, normally there won't be any vote of thanks. So, but however, I want to say, I'll say good respect to all the people who responded to our messages. With this, I hand over back to Rizwana. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Ramakrishnan from Silk Lens. Are you around, sir? Okay, so it's time to move to Raji ma'am's family. Sir, Ganesh sir, over to you. You can unmute your mic. Just unmute your mic, sir.
You able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yep. It's always very difficult because I've attended a few condolence meetings in the company, but this was a real company. Basically, when I was listening to the people, and I feel some developed a habit of good-natured person and a knowledgeable person early. Like although Raji is in no way comparison to the people whom I, but it seems to be his nature. Like Ramanuja, Srinivas Ramanuja, who died at 34, and Adi Shankara, who died at 32, and Bharatiya, who died at 34. So God seems to have developed I won't say bad habit, but he wants those people to be remembered and aptly, and we normally we are part of a system wherein we always quote success as something which you don't achieve, so something you don't get, but something which you go through. You also measure the success by the number of people you are impacting. Although probably this OATN was a small quota, but if you had organized an international condolence meeting, probably the count would have been in under hundreds. So I really believe and sincerely believe that Raji has made her visit to this planet more meaningful, and like when God sends you, He gives you a specific task, and most of us, including me, probably are we don't do that. We forget in the race to earn money and fame and name and fame. We forget the basic job that was entrusted to us by the God, that serve people, right? And to my knowledge, the interaction Raji had with you people, and forget about the personal thing, because it is all you have to do that. You have to execute whatever duties you are bound by the marriage. But in the professional way, normally you don't develop attachment to the organization or the people whom you're working. It's a very rare cases that you develop an attachment and you develop a lot of personal bondings which goes beyond your professional responsibilities. And I could see those things coming up in this meeting. I don't know. She before we were married, she was a student of ESO, and normally these days, as engineers or as managers, nobody sticks to a particular company or a particular institution for so long. And although in the early days of marriage, she was thinking of leaving SN, and I persuaded not to do that too. But that was her strength actually. SN was her strength, and both strength and weakness. Weakness in the sense that she wouldn't have survived without SN. Strength is because she derived the entire during the last few months. Whenever she receives a call from SN, in spite of her difficult hours, difficult body condition, she used to get sparkle in her eyes, and then she used to answer those calls with the same enthusiasm as she would have been when she was before this this condition. And I remember I was discussing some statistical concept in the first week of July before she developed all these complications, and I didn't understand that p-value properly. I was just discussing that in one of the studies there was some p-value of less than 1, and immediately she was actually sleeping. I thought she was sleeping, and I was just discussing to somebody, and she immediately rolled over and said, no, this is that. So, I would rather credit the entire what shall I say, the laurels and the remembrance that you shared to one institution called Shankar Netralaya, and moreover the Shankara in the Shankar Netralaya. So, I mean, whoever is associated with Shankar Netralaya should consider themselves to be very fortunate, because it is the Mahapariva who is blessing you. And how much time I have?
You can speak, sir.
No, I cannot go on like this, because
you can.
No, after a long time, I'm just talking about her. So the events that the events that happened just before our last day was a true indicator. As somebody, I shared this to many of you. I mean, some of you in SN and many of my family members, that I told you in the beginning of this my sharing of this experience, that God wanted her to be back in our arsenal, because He wanted her to go to somewhere else and then spread the message of love and service and other things. Because the indications were like that. Many people won't believe this, because SN, eye hospital, optometry, all are science subjects. You won't believe in all this. I mean, many of you won't believe this, because it is not backed up with the data, as all the PhDs and MPhils would rather demand. But the events were totally towards God's plan of calling her back. So she used to talk about her days in ESO, SN, and I could. I'm recalling only one thing about all the talks. Although she had some frustrations and some disappointment, which is normal in any corporate career, that she had the genuine concern for the institution. So that really propelled her. I mean, I don't know about what motivated her, but I could sense that the culture that SN and ESO instilled. You don't get when you join a school or a college or institution. Generally, apart from the professional knowledge that you get, you also imbibe culture. I could see that the culture is like dedication, like being very strict at systems and all those things. That is it is imbibed. Probably she extended the dedication and the strict behavior to my house also, like basically. So that comes under the. I mean, the institution pumps in all those things into one's blood, like your army. When the army Jawan comes to home, he is not separated from his daily duties. Similarly, Raji was like that, and remember, like when I saw her for the first time, she was asking whether you are an ME graduate, because she was a MPhil grad at that time. So I was under the impression that she wanted me to do ME. Then I said, okay, I will do ME after marriage. I was basically a lazy guy. So B itself I completed with difficulty. So I thought I will do sometime in the future. But it happened so that the entire interest for studying got deposited in Raji's account, and she registered for a PhD. PhD was a real test for her, basically. It was like a second birth. After Ashu was born, I could see her toiling day and night. And when I talked about God's, habit of plucking early people, like first guide. I don't know. I don't know about Evie and Srinivasan, but they were all a bit aged people. But it seems that SN typically has got that unique nature of investing in people and losing them. I don't know what to say about this, but I mean, I was talking to Rizwan the other day that because they have invested so much. They have both intellectually and knowledge-wise. I don't know how they are going to cope up. Because as a family man, I have to keep on going. Like I have to do justice to what she came into my life, and I cannot just wash away my hands. As a partner, she, normally in Hindu marriage, you go for a Shaptapati, okay? Normally the bridegroom tells all those things. I will save you, I will do this. But the execution, the onus of executing those things lies on the bride actually. If you go into the meaning, although the bridegroom only tells that, just speaks those mantras, but onus of executing them, following them, is the responsibility of the bride, and she did it perfectly. So, you have to give a scope of getting protected. If you say that no, you don't have to protect me, then the whole meaning of the mantra goes to a toss. She did it very well, including for the last part of the year, I spent my time in North India, so I have developed a uncanny, taste for North Indian food. So she would struggle like the struggle she had for during her PhD. Although it is not a comparable thing, but we both studied in Rajasthan University. He did it from BITS Pilani, I did it from NIT Jaipur, not knowing that we will be married. And in the childhood also, we were only about 5 kilometers away. I grew up in Propet and she grew up in Pallavaram. Life goes like this. And I'm not able to go serially, but the Irunguvel's post in FB as soon as he heard about this was much more touching than anybody else. I mean, and there was some guy who was singing a poem. I mean, dedicated a poem, and that was also really a touching tribute. Again, I would rather say that she has touched more life than anybody else. I don't remember anybody in my life. Maybe some big people like Abdul Kalam and other people might have touched, but in her own way, in her own sphere, she has touched more life than anybody else. That's what I really feel. I don't know how I'm going to compensate for that to my child, Ashu, and family. But she was a fighter, but basically she lost her battle to the rare disease, cancer. That's all. Ashu, you want to say something?
Ashu, you can speak.
Happy morning, happy evening. I would like to thank all of you for your support and your blessings, and I'll definitely make sure I'll make all of you proud and Amma also proud. I actually have no words to say about Amma. She was literally my God to me, and I don't know what God has done to me, and I seriously, I can't realize why Amma left me, and she used to be my everything. And now, even though if I think about her, I then realize that she's not with me right now. And even today, when the next day I'm supposed to make something for her, not for her, but for my family. But every time when I make something new or whenever I do something, I used to call her and tell her anything. So even I thought that today, and then I realized that she's not there with me anymore. And she's literally my world to me. I don't know what happened to me. She used to give me kiss every day whenever I go to sleep, and sometimes I used to get bad dreams. Every time she used to hug me, she used to tell some Swami slogan, and she used to calm me. She'll help me sleep actually. And now, even in recent days, I used to get bad dreams, and I feel my mom is not with me. And even though their family members are with me, I can't replace my mom anymore. And all this is unexpected actually. Nobody even thought that this could happen. We were literally, on that day, we were actually happy that Amma is going to recover finally and we are going to come. And that is the day when I prayed most. I was studying and I was hearing to bhajan. My party tata, we were all listening to slogan only. Nothing bad happened that day. But God gave a twist, and night, as I got the message, I couldn't realize what happened actually. I started crying, obviously. And at least those 10 days, I was happy that she was there with me. When we did those rituals, we were happy that she was there with us. But now, after all that is over, now I start feeling that she's really not with me. She's not with me anymore, and she won't be coming back to me. And that's it. I'm sure I'll make her proud, but not to her level. She's literally a gem for everybody, for Optometry and for our family. She used to be the pillar actually for everything. Everybody would actually take her as a role model. My first inspiration role model is my mom, and definitely Amma's smile. I think I won't be able to replace it. I will get angry often. I'm very sensitive. So அம்மா மாதிரி நான் எப்பவுமே சிரிப்பேனா தெரியாது, பட் அப்பப்போ சிரிப்பேன். ஆனா நிஜமா அம்மா ரொம்ப she's very sweet and ரொம்ப திட்டுவா ஆக்சுவலா, ரொம்ப அடிப்பா. ஆனா உடனே வந்து அடுத்த நிமிஷமே இல்லை, ரொம்ப பெரிய தப்பு பண்ணிதான் வந்து கொஸ்டா, ரொம்ப பேசவே மாட்டான். பட் அப்புறம் ஒரு சின்ன மிஸ்டேக்கா இருந்தா ஒரு 15 minutes ஏதாச்சும் கிஃப்ட் கொடுத்து she start talking to me. And இப்போ வந்து I don't even know இப்போ அந்த அடி அந்த திட்டு அதெல்லாம் I'm missing actually. And I pray that she is happy everywhere and just to give a strength. எனக்கு பூஜாக்கெல்லாம் strength கொடுக்கணும். I'm just praying to her. Every day I used to look at that photo. I used to kiss her and I used to wish her good night and all. I hope it continues and I love you, Amma, wherever you are. Thank you for this opportunity, Auntie.
Anuja ma'am, you wanted to tell a few?
Yeah, I would actually, though Raji was my junior in college, I never met her during ESO days. Ironically, I came to know about Raji and I heard about her through one of the fellows who worked in SN, Dr. Ashish Ahuja. So he always used to tell me whenever we had, since I was doing contact lenses, whenever we had a problem, he will always be like, you talk to Dr. Rajeswari, talk to Dr. Rajeswari. That is how I started talking to Raji over phone. And then when I relocated to Chennai in 2012 and I started working, but when I started taking active part in academy and we started MOFDOM in 2015, Raji helped us a lot. And she helped us with all the setting up of all the protocols, and she really stood up for quality. We had a lot of arguments, but always polite, and we always agreed to disagree. She really used to stand up for quality education, and she wanted all the right protocols and systems in place. And she was the one first who helped us organize the faculty meeting, and then we really built masters from strength to strength. She also did the fellowship courses, and people used to come only. Always it was in demand. She will only, if she will take only 1 or 2 students, and that too after a lot of scrutiny. And as an administrator also, I have received a lot of shoutings from her for not keeping the students in line and for indiscipline issues. But then it was always very sweet and very polite. So I will really miss her as a colleague, and it's going to be a big loss for TSNA to run all of our academic programs. It is kind of irreplaceable. We are not going to find a clinician and who will impart all the skills to the students, a researcher who would guide the students in the project, and also a great teacher, I would say. So she did all of those things with tremendous ease. I don't know how she managed. And then being a great mom to Ashwini, we are all going to miss her. And I know God be with Mr. Ganesh and with Ashwini. So I would like to see her grow up to be a very strong woman, just like Raji. Thank you so much, Rizwana, for giving me the opportunity, and to Jyoti. God bless.
Okay. So Ganesh sir, this is a closed group, 55 people. It's going live in YouTube as well. But whatever said and done, this is just a small token for a person like Raji. And from the, I should tell you this, like from the moment I met you on the funeral day to this moment, it's so amazing, and I realize how much courage Raji has actually drawn from you, and under your support and guidance, I think Ashu is definitely going to grow heights. And Ashu, we all love you, and our prayers are there with you, while Amma is going to serve as your guardian angel. Okay. So though the tough times of lockdown and social distancing has made us suffer in grief with all guilt and isolation, thanks to the virtual platform that has made it possible for large numbers to gather under one roof, and we've been able to share our emotions for our great beloved soul Raji. From living to leaving a legacy, from spirited to becoming a spirit, from becoming to just being, and from breath into air, from the physical realm to the infinite cosmic realm, there can be one and only you, and that is you, Dr. Raji. There is this practice in leadership, training, to imagine your own condolence meeting and think how you want to be remembered by people. I have never attended a condolence meeting like this, actually for a contemporary. So I would say that she definitely continues to inspire even after moving from flesh and blood to soul and spirit. And so I'm going to end the meeting with Rumi's quote. Goodbyes are only for those who love with their eyes, because for those who love with their heart and soul, there is no such thing as separation. Thanks everyone, and thanks to Ms. Archeta for this beautiful portrait that you are seeing behind us, behind me here. Thanks to OATN for organizing this meeting. I request all of you to stay safe and keep spreading love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rizwana. Thank you.
Thank you, Rizwan. Thank you, OATN.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, Rees.
Thank you, OATN.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Sir.
Thank you, ma'am.